Yo. What's good, everybody? Hello. Good morning here from Los Angeles, California. Today, we've got a very special episode of the Respect My Region podcast. Today's episode brought to you guys by the RMR Podcast Network and Blackleaf.io, our pay-as-you-go partner for all things cannabis SMS marketing for retailers. Now, the episode's not about us or our sponsor. It's about the gentleman I have here next to me. We've got Mike Khemmoro here, COO, co-founder of Mango Cannabis, the only mango, you know what I'm saying, in all the cannabis that I've seen. I got, Mike, you don't even know this. I got 8 mangoes in my fridge, 2 different types. You feel me?
Come on, what do you got? Champagne?
No, dude, come on, dude. I got Mexican small mangoes, and then I got Guatemalan big organic mangoes. I spent $14 on 8 mangoes. Boom! So I'm pumped, dude. I saw this episode, and I was like, let's go. And then, Mike, you just told me Oklahoma, today's episode, the focus, New York, New Mexico, Michigan, and am I forgetting one?
No, that's all of them right now.
And then Oklahoma, 5. Bam.
Yeah.
Crazy. The OGs, man. Now, Mike, Mango Cannabis, what a name, what a brand. How did you get it going in all this? You got a partner you were just talking about. How did y'all meet? How did you come up with Mango Cannabis? Where did this start, dude?
Well, I could go way back. I mean, I've been in cannabis pretty much the second I got out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
My parents thought I was going to community college. I was helping out a family friend and kind of my mentor at the time, I would say, set up the first co-op grow that was kind of in the gray zone. You know, if you would.
Where is this? Set the scene. Where are you?
So I'm in Michigan at the time. So I was born. Yeah, I was born and raised in Michigan. Born and raised in Michigan. He started this co-op grow, needed some help, obviously. I was a young, wide-eyed kid that didn't really, I look at 18, 19-year-olds now, and I'm just like, I don't know how I was doing this at this time and not kind of freaking out.
Do you trust any 18 or 19-year-old to do what we did in our lives? No.
Not to talk shit, but can I cuss? Is that okay?
You can do anything, dude. I'm rolling a joint, brother. Be you.
All right, cool, yeah. So, we started the co-op grow. That kind of had its bumps, turns, and unexpected endings. You know, it was super early in that game and didn't go too well, but garnered a lot of experience, obviously.
Yeah.
And then that was around 2009. Did that for like 5, 6, 7 years. Had my own. That went into me getting my own grows set up that were in the traditional market. I managed a delivery service at one point, managed a dispensary.
All that in Michigan. Holy shit.
Yeah. I was lucky. I was connected to people that were in the game and you know, they kind of provided avenues for me to learn and prove myself and get opportunities. Did a lot of it for free. But it's okay that it wasn't to get monetary value, right? It was
at that time that like it's quick. It's either quick money or long money, and we're not really interested in long money at that age.
Yeah, right? Of course not.
It takes a certain mindset to like think to really realize like, yo, this experience is worth more than the 12, 15, 25 an hour, whatever it was, you know?
Yeah, and even at the time, I mean, saying it now, that's 100% true. Even at the time, I didn't really understand that until it gave me the confidence to move away and start Mango with my business partner, you know?
Yeah.
So my business partner how we met, Kevin Pata, he's my brother-in-law actually. So
wow.
His background was very much the same as mine. He was a cultivator as well, traditional market. So was I. We never partnered up. He married my sister and we kind of still were doing our own things. We're very, very good friends. He applied in 2016, I want to say, for a retail license in the state of Michigan in Lansing for a dispensary. He got denied, I think, by a couple of points. You know, it was very, very expensive at the time to apply. The application process was pretty nuts. You had to submit. I think he submitted like 2 freaking 3 ring 2-inch binders or whatever. And it was very. I don't want. Yeah, it was corrupt. I mean, you don't even know why they don't
They
pick.
they like do you think having set stuff up in multiple states, Mike, do we think, and I'm gonna say it, not you, this is me, do we think these legislative motherfuckers really even know what the fuck they're doing and the impact they're having on our environment with these
No,
stupid tags, the metric fucking tags and the fucking paper for applications? I'm
we're
so
going
sick
through.
of that bullshit, man.
Yeah, we're going through some crazy stuff in Oklahoma right now. I feel bad for a lot of people. Um, I don't want to get too much into it because
That's me. I'm taking that tangent. Just circling back, Michigan, you're coming up, you're doing all these different things. At what point do you guys come up with the name Mango though? Like, I'm interested in that because you got like a carrot or I don't know what that is on your hat. I don't
no,
know if
that's that's
that's
the
the
logo.
mango.
That's
That's
the
the
icon.
logo. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, so with that, like, when did you guys go all in on that? Because mangoes have officially become my favorite fruit in every capacity. Like that's my favorite thing in the world in terms of like what I put in my body now.
You know what's funny is we flew out to Oklahoma in 2018. It took a really long time to get the project like officially underway, start construction, sign leases. We were well into that process without a name. And our investor at the time was just giving me and Kevin a bunch of shit. Like, you guys are saying you're going to do all these things. You don't even have a fucking name. Blah, 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 blah. What are you talking about? This, that, and the other. Um, so I think Sunday rolled around. We're three guys living in a house. There's nothing in the refrigerator. There's nothing anywhere. We went shopping. I think Sam's Club. Um, Kevin and Sean at the time, they're in front of this big, huge stack of mangoes, and Kevin grabs them and puts them in the car. Sean stops the car, and he's a very eccentric person. So like, it's way more funny than I'm probably telling it. And he's like, who's going to eat all these freaking mangoes? There's 12 of them in here, blah, 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 blah. And then they start going back and forth. He's like, I'll eat them. What are you talking about? Blah, blah, blah. They're healthy, this, that, and the other. And he's like, I bet you're not even going to touch one of them. Okay. 2 weeks goes by. We're sitting. It's like a Sunday, 11 at night, Um, we're trying to order stuff where our something to eat. We just spent all day on the road looking at locations. I can't really remember what we were doing, but we were definitely something mango related. So pretty much forgot to eat, and I know that's hard to believe, but we did. um, they start trying to order some food off of DoorDash, and everything's closed and nothing's open, and like we've just been token up since we got home. And Sean's like, "Why don't you go eat those fucking mangoes that you caused the scene about?" Blah 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 blah. They've just been sitting there. Obviously, not one was touched. Um, so we cut some up, we start eating, we keep smoking, and the high became so euphoric.
Yeah,
Like we were it was super giggly, having a great time. The vibes were high. And Sean's like, bro, what are we smoking? Because at this time we were meeting with a bunch of vendors. So we got like samples coming in from everywhere.
it's like, what are
He's
we
like,
smoking? What's happening
what,
to us?
what did we just smoke? And then I've always been like a fact nerd, you know. So I'm just like, guys, I think it's the mangoes. It has a terpene in there that's common in cannabis and it enhances the high. Sean's not really a cannabis guy, so he's like, "You're full of shit." Blah blah blah. Stop making up stuff. I was like, "I bet you it is. We should call it mango cannabis. Look it up." They looked it up, and obviously, like uh, my screen, it's true. So he's like, wow, you want to call it mango? I was like, yeah. What does Apple have to do with computers? What is, it's, and at the time, like,
Wow, what a great fucking point, Mike.
yeah. So
The
and
fuck
I was
does
just like,
Apple have to do with computers? Good point.
nothing, and then, like, at the time in Oklahoma, you couldn't throw a rock without hitting a shop, and everything was like green this or Kush that,
Yeah, it's all the
or
same.
yeah, it's very like hard to stand out. Anything super, super creative that goes hand in hand with cannabis that was obvious was already taken or already being done. So it's like, how do you stand out in a crowd? I've always been a fan of a short name.
Yeah.
So they,
Like
they
you
were
could
cool
like
with mango.
there's I used to live in the valley here in LA, right? And
Okay.
there was this bar, and I think it's two bar locations or something. Maybe I think I saw two locations across like LA in general. It was called the Surly Goat. What does that have to do with a bar? It's
Nothing.
nothing. Nothing,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So like having a dispensary called Top Nug, top shelf, all the same shit like you're saying, not memorable. You just drive right past it. And
Yeah.
so I love that you guys went that route and that it took this actual story, and I can tell that it's real because you sound like roommates.
We definitely were. It was fun. It was a crazy time thinking back at it now. You
Yeah.
know.
That window of time, what an era of cannabis, right? Because in
Yeah.
2018, it wasn't like it's new anymore. Even back then,
No.
it's not. We're talking 2009. You're doing business, making moves, doing things, figuring out your way. You're not the only person that was in that same stage at that time, right?
Yeah.
All kinds of people from Colorado and California and Oregon, Washington medical market, Colorado medical market, Michigan medical market's been around a long time. All of these places were all getting experience back then. What do you think? What do you take from those days that's the most applicable and valuable now? What do you think? What do you still have with you every day, or what do you still think about that actually applies to what you guys are doing now? 5 states, 10+
I
locations.
well, so I've actually gotten this question before quite a few times, and it was what set you guys apart in Oklahoma? Because there was 2,000 shops at one time. There were so many licensees. How did you become so uh, successful? I guess, and I would always say I would take it back to that time in like
Yeah,
2016, 2014. We had the luxury of the best case study ever for what makes a successful shop. There at the time, 8 Mile, the Eminem movie.
of course.
Yeah, so like early 2010s to mid 2010s, there must have been 500 shops up and down 8 Mile. They weren't state licensed, but they were operational because the city of Detroit couldn't deal with them.
Yeah,
So, but it was absolutely insane. One of the shops I was actually the manager at, you just drive up and down, and there'd be like a guy killing it, absolutely killing it, and then there'd be a guy like more than a handful of them doing really well, and then there would be shops that like, hey, just as beautiful as a store, great parking lot, good customer service. They have the inventory, and they just wouldn't be doing anything. So it's like we kind of got to see firsthand what makes a successful shop versus one that's just existing. Also, I was a customer, so I frequented most of them. So I
a lot of
figured out,
variables that go into it. It's not, just
yeah,
like it's pretty easy to have a pretty phenomenal. I always use peanut butter and jelly because it's simple, stupid for a lot of people. A lot of people overcomplicate stuff, but there
yeah,
are very consistent variables that lead to winning at this shit.
yeah,
That lead us down a path to victory,
yeah.
right? What have you identified as some of those key things, decision points, the forks in the road where people go left or right? What have you identified as some of the most important variables that go into not just one successful location but building?
I mean, honestly, I could go back to the beginning, is picking the right partner.
Yeah,
You know, Picking the right partner, you don't have to agree on everything, but you have to have good conflict resolution skills so that something small doesn't turn into something big at the base level of the business, which is between the originating partners. You do a very good job of communicating those things, and we don't even over communicate anymore. There's such a trust factor built in that, hey, I know he's going to do his thing, he knows I'm going to do my thing, and hey, if Mike tells me this or Kevin tells me that, you could probably take it to the bank.
yeah, yeah.
There's some, especially in cannabis, there's like some business fundamental things like not taking bad deals, bad money.
Just being able to recognize having that education, I think that
Yeah,
probably that's a multi-layer variable.
yeah, and then me and Kevin were lucky when it came to that too, is because um, we're both from business oriented families. So like his dad was in the grocery supermarket scene, and he used to go to work with his dad when he was a kid. And same with mine. My dad had one grocery store that I started as the bag boy and the janitor, and I worked my way up to assistant butcher, and then went to the office and learned how to use Excel, not in the classroom, but at an actual business. So it helped a lot. You got to see like actual uh, issues that come up every day. and how to navigate them, how to buy,
Yeah.
how to make deals, how to merchandise, because ultimately, retail is retail. Uh, and what you sell, I don't want to downplay it because cannabis is obviously very different and it's important too, but it's a product, so so having the knowledge outside of the product is equally as important to be successful for the long haul.
Wow, powerful statement. Having the knowledge outside of the project equally is important.
Yeah,
Powerful. I appreciate that game there, and hopefully that resonates with these operators that are not doing the right things, for lack of a better way to put it. Pivoting towards Oklahoma, I've driven through a couple times. Indiana to Texas, Seattle to Alabama. I had barbecue in Oklahoma City. I was lucky. I actually found
where'd you go?
a black owned barbecue. I don't remember it, but I bet and found a black owned barbecue, which was dope. Just happened to be on the way we were going because we weren't supposed to stop. I just forced it. If I had my grandpa pull over, pull over! I need that barbecue. Let's go. And I don't know anything about Oklahoma, and I think it's safe to say that a lot of people around the country don't know anything about Oklahoma.
Yeah,
They know about the Dust Bowl and whatever was in a book, and I don't think that's
yeah,
fair, and I don't think it does these different places justice. I like
it
That's why
definitely doesn't.
we like to have people on from different places. That's why I ask where are you in the world? Where do you operate in the world? Oh, we got all these things. Cool. I can't wait to see what it's like from your guys' perspective in all these areas, right? And so for Oklahoma, what are you don't have to name all 8 cities, but if you can, I would love to know where you guys operate. I've never heard of some of these towns, some of these
Yeah,
cities. You know what I mean?
so so original store was in Tulsa.
Mm-hmm.
Second one was in Edmond. Third one was in Norman, Oklahoma. Go Sooners.
Yep.
We're in Enid, Lawton, uh, two Oklahoma City stores, and we have a second one in Harvard as well. Harvard, Tulsa.
Is it safe to say that people around the country here in America, we have this presumption, maybe it's a stereotype, maybe it's a bias, maybe it's whatever, but we have these perspectives like there's these people here, they're going to be a certain kind of way, right? Maybe it's historical, maybe it's current, maybe it's a fucking viral trend, who knows, right?
Mhm.
Those college people and all those Oklahoma big schools, all those colleges, they're smoking weed.
Yeah, there is
That's
no demographic. There is none. It's like
that's what we like to hear. So like I want to tear down these barriers. I want to tear down these assumptions. I want people to understand that cannabis doesn't necessarily fall in line with every single grouping or categorization, whether it's the politics, whether it's the history, whether it's this or that. Cannabis can transcend all of that. And so, Mike, what are these different towns like? Norman, go Sooners. Is that where Oklahoma University is at?
that is where Oklahoma University is. It's very different, obviously, than well, maybe not. Very different than Lawton. Lawton's a military-based town,
Okay.
southwest of the state. So it's a very different demographic, you would say. Uh, Tulsa's Tulsa compared to Tulsa and Oklahoma City are the two major population density points in the state. I would say they're very, very different, though.
Interesting. Interesting.
Tulsa, Tulsa,
Tulsa has a big school there too, though. No.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them on TV and all that before.
Yep, Tulsa University. So, Tulsa's more of a historical city, I would say, than Oklahoma City. OKC's more new, I would say.
How is it close? Are any of these places close to Oklahoma City? Do you have you have locations there?
Yeah. So Edmond is a suburb of Oklahoma City. It's about
Okay.
20 minutes. It borders OKC. So
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
From our OKC store, it's about 20-minute drive. So we got three in the
That
metro
sounds like me
area.
saying I'm from Seattle, but where I'm really from is 15 miles for 30, 20, 30, 40 minutes away, depending on traffic.
Yep. And then
Yeah.
Norman's about 40 minutes, 45 minutes, depending on traffic. From OKC, maybe 30, 35 sometimes.
Now, here in California, we have dealt with fires. We deal with heat. It's a large city. It's a metropolitan city here in LA. There's more violence and just more stuff happening. It just tends to be more active, right?
Mhm.
You guys have to deal with different challenges. One of them being seasonal weather challenges. I grew up in Indiana. I also grew up in Houston. My mom and then my grandparents are over there in Alabama. Tornadoes are a real thing for you guys. That's a real
Yeah.
danger, a real challenge. Can you talk about any? Can you talk about that and talk? Share your perspective on how you guys deal with that, and just bring a little light to that level of challenge. People talk about cannabis being hard. Well, we have earthquakes here,
Mm.
but you guys have tornadoes there every year, all the kind of like pretty frequently. What is that like for you guys owning stores and staff
You,
and having to balance?
yeah, it is pretty tough. You have to have definitely some SOPs in place on what to do when things come up, right? You have to be uh safety comes first, obviously. Another thing I would say that was a big fear of mine before I moved out here. Now it's kind of back here somewhere in the back of the brain. It's not something I'm lucky enough to not have to think about it like that. I guess the fear might be gone just because I've lived there for 7, 8 years now.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of hail. My cars have gotten destroyed plenty of times.
Wow.
Yeah,
Weather is serious there.
yeah,
Wow. That's incredible. Because obviously, most of the people are familiar with the Twisters movies and things of that nature. And obviously, Hollywood and public media and whatever of that paints a lot of people's pictures for people and creates these judgments of what could it be like and this and that, right? These predispositions.
yeah.
I think that's a whole unique set of challenges that it's so scary in some ways. I've never heard of a dispensary getting ripped apart from an earthquake over here on the West Coast, but
Yeah.
I've seen plenty of things all over the place. And myself, growing up in Indiana, I myself have had to survive and be through. I can vividly think of two different occasions where we were hiding under the stairs and stuff was destroyed around our house. You know,
Unbelievable. I'm sorry, man.
no, I mean it's not like you're so young. 4 or 5, I don't even remember. But to think about that and being worse, and for so many people, pretty frequently, is something to really think about. And that's why I wanted to. It's important that we highlight places like Oklahoma. I know Missouri goes through it. I'm sure Illinois goes through it. My parents
Mhm.
deal with that in Houston, and my grandparents deal with it in Alabama. Cannabis is everywhere. Now, switching back away from a tough topic like that, I really like learning about a lot of different regions and places best or people's favorite products because best is so subjective. Best is the awards and all that shit, right? Now
Yeah.
that's fun and that's great. I love awards. I love knowing what's a lot of people think is the best and a curation of the best. But what's your favorite stuff out of your guys' Oklahoma locations? What are some of the things you enjoy the most?
I'm a flower guy, brother.
Okay,
So
I'm
I
smoking a
would
joint, right? So I'm with you.
yeah. We get a little bit of bad rep in Oklahoma for our products, I would say. Not mango specifically, the state as a whole, but I would put Dave from Zenoa Cannabis Cultivators flower up against anybody. His
Wow.
GMO is on point. I've looked obviously at all the flower in the 4 different markets we're in. There's I mean, better obviously subjective, but I mean, we could do the Pepsi challenge with Dave's stuff with anything, and
Ooh.
I don't think anybody's gonna say they don't like it.
Hey, let's do that. Let's do that, Mike. Next time, next chance we get out, if you guys go out at MJ BizCon, why don't you guys do that? I know the Buddhist group, they're doing an MJ Biz Cup or something like that. I think it'd be
Yes.
incredible to find out, or even me. I review products. I'd love to do Pepsi challenges. I've done that before. That
Yeah,
is a great idea, and that leads me to my next point here, man. Is we talk about like that gentleman here. What is the name of the brand again?
Zenoa, Zenoa.
You said you'll put that up against any of the brands in the states that you're in.
Yeah, it's quality flower. The guy does a very, very, very good job. Super knowledgeable. I
Wow.
wish I knew a quarter of what he knows when it comes to cultivating. Um,
I
he
don't think
doesn't.
people really understand, potentially, these viewers know the gravity of that statement. Michigan, in some categories and some things, like it might be even just one thing, outsells California.
Yeah,
The
it's a big
weed,
market.
if you asked people in Michigan and California who have been to both places, and they're being real, they're going to usually say Cali, say 6, 7, 8 out of 10 times. But Michigan
Mhm.
always gets people that say, nah, man, it's not even close. I don't, that Cali stuff, nah. They're using this, they're doing that. You don't even know what you're getting. At this point, boom, the rosin, top tier. The flower there, top tier. And better pricing, right?
Yeah, I
Better
think so.
pricing. That's the thing, is it's always quality meets price point. There's a balance. When some shit's fucking 55, 65, 75, $80, just because it's amazing doesn't mean it's great still anymore.
No,
right?
of course,
It's
yeah.
a, it plays into
It's
it.
a variable for sure.
Right, right. Okay, so that gentleman Zanoa, that's phenomenal. Shout out to them. Who else do you got in maybe in any of the other products that you guys got out there?
Altum, I like Altum. Altum's got great product too. They're another grower. It's a funny story. I actually his name is Dave as well. I met Dave in Michigan when I was chasing around my mentor, and I didn't even know I met him, and then we're kind of sitting down for a business meeting one day, and I'm looking at him, I was like, dude, do I know you? Like before this, and we start connecting dots, and I was like, hey, this guy's, this guy, that's my cousin that I was working with. I think I was in your house in 2010 or I think
Wow.
yeah, it was pretty funny. But they're great. I love Dime disposables and carts.
The dime industry vapes.
Yeah, they're pretty
Yeah,
good, man.
they do great work.
Give me a nice high, good quality hardware. They've never clogged on me. I mean, I always find myself grabbing one of those here and then.
I think that's a pretty solid group of recommendations there. I mean, Dime is a really great multi-state brand. I won't use the operator term; they're a brand, and they
Yeah.
do great operations across the country in terms of consistent product. I believe Arizona, Oklahoma, obviously Cali, and I'm sure other states too. I'm just not super familiar on where all they're at, but definitely a fan. They have a collaboration with one of my favorite farms here in California, Top Shelf, cultivation out of Long Beach.
Oh,
Um, Now, for you, is there, regional strains? There's so much fucking fire out of the Bay, right? Right? Cookies and all that shit and all those different things and Santa Rosa and Humboldt. Then you got Blue Dream back in the day. Then you got the Swampy OGs, which technically kind of came from Florida, right? That shit came
yeah,
from
yeah,
Florida, right?
yeah.
That's still true.
It's ocean grown. It's ocean grown.
Right, right, right. Then you got the stuff that the land races from all over the world, the Hindus, the
Mm.
Thais, these
Acapulco
Mexican
Gold.
land
Yeah.
races. Yep, yep, yep. What the heck is Oklahoma known for? What do you guys own? What do you guys claim? What do you guys say? Oh yeah, man, that's that Oklahoma shit. You guys got anything like from there? How does that work?
Man, I got to be careful saying we claim. I don't want to piss some of these breeders off, and then that's always a thing, right?
Like for
I-
us, where I'm from in Washington, Exotic Mike, Exotic Genetics is out there. You know what I'm saying? So stuff came
yeah,
from him. You know what I mean? You guys got some banger breeders out there? You guys got any strains that are historically come from that area? You know of anything like that?
I mean, it's gonna sound bad, but I do not. I will say that the GMO, and I know it didn't come from Oklahoma, but that's by far our most popular strain.
Hey, that's a
And
great answer too. That great gives great insight. So people love that funky, rotten, fucking gross GMO
yeah,
shit.
yeah. Well, Dave does it right. Again, back to the grow. I mean, you can have great genetics, but if you don't have the other G in the
True.
equation, the grower, it doesn't
Yeah.
really matter.
Yeah. No facts. Big facts. Big facts. Um, that's not a sativa. Do you notice any energetic strains really standing out? Remember how popular Tropicana cookies and whatever was back in the day?
Yeah,
You
Tropicana
know,
cookies was very
yeah, like
popular.
stuff. What was the orangey one that just went through? Super Boof. Remember how popular Super Boof got
Yeah,
there for half a second? Like, do you
yeah.
guys have anything that's more on that fruity or that sativa realm that just really stands out as like, yeah, bro, every time we get this, it's gone. Just in a similar way to the GMO.
GMO. I want to say,
I like how hard you're thinking about this. I know these are challenging random questions, but if you and I were smoking like joint after joint, I would be so interested in things that are specific to Oklahoma that I would ask you this shit anyways. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. I mean,
Like
it's
what
on
do
the tip of
people
my
like
it's
there?
on the tip of my tongue. If I could give me 1 second, I'm gonna look it up
Nah,
because I don't
I
want to
love
tell you
it.
the
I
wrong
love it.
thing.
I love it. Well, I'll take a moment here to shout out our sponsor for today's episode, folks. We have a really wonderful sponsor today, blackleaf.io, our cannabis SMS partner, pay as you go partner for retailers. What that means is that retailers often text message people to communicate their deals, and this group helps retailers by letting them pay as you go for their services instead of contracts and all this upfront money potentially. You create a plan, you use the plan, you do the plan, you pay as you go. Very simple. Blackleaf.io, our partner for this episode today. Also, too, big shout out to Uh, uh, big shout out to just Oklahoma, man. We're learning a lot today. Did you land on it?
It is loading up grow flow.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right. Well, I'm going to switch to while you find that and continue hustling on that one. We already talked about the Mango name and how it started. We talked about some of your partners. What would you say your guys' philosophy is as a brand? Like when you bring on new staff, what's really important that they know in terms of, emulating what?
It's always, I mean, we harp on customer service 24/7,
Hmm.
and forming a relationship with the people that you're serving. Don't treat them like a number. I know it gets kind of hard sometimes day in, day out, especially us. We get a lot of foot traffic, but I don't want you turning and burning people. I want you to sit there, take your time, figure out what they need so that when they get home and they go through their ritual and they toke up, that they're happy with the product and the advice or the recommendation that they got from you. Um, we never tell anyone that works for us, hey, sell this or sell that.
Yeah.
Obviously, we want to see, we set goals, of course, and stuff that we want to see, just to have our orientation heading in the right direction, but customer service is key, and it's got to be unreasonable to the point that, like, we will do anything.
Yeah.
You
What,
can't,
what
if sorry, go
for
ahead.
for me it's like I hear this often because we interview a lot of retailers, customer service, big focus, right? And then
Mhm.
I don't ever really ask about the type of trainings and what are the focuses. And even if I did ask, I feel like I would get a lot of the same answers. Oh, we want them to be able to know the strains. We want them to try the different products, do the samplings from the brands, and be able to talk about these things. Generally speaking, most people don't want them to push things that they don't recommend, but there is a balance of you have to sell through the inventory, right?
For
And
sure.
so, and so, but that's not necessarily customer service. It's umbrellaed by it, but it's just improving sales and better service. What about everybody that has to check in, right? And you can see their name, like who you're talking to, right? What about
Mhm.
calling people by their name, right? What about looking at their history every time and asking, do you want what you want last time, or would you like something different today, right? What about styling the communication different? Are those things that people are doing and training in 2025 as we get into 2026? Is that those things that are part of the conversation?
They should be. That's definitely a very good way to look at it and granular. I know when I used to bud tend all the time, I would definitely do that myself.
I feel like I got bigger tips. Like when I do
Yeah,
Uber or Lyft, or when I'm at the lounge, and I struggle with, like, I smoke with you. I struggle with remembering people's names unless I see it and hear it over,
yeah,
because I'm high and I smoke fire weed,
yeah,
and but when I do, we become better friends. We build a stronger relationship. We start to talk about more things, and just by talking about more things, they get better service and more recommendations, even if they're not recommended or talked about, like, yo, you should try this. Just by being like, I like this is what I've been using lately. Those are just small little moments. And so I say that because that's something that I've been noticing, that in my own customer services I delivered, is that when I apply those areas, I get bigger tips, I sell more product, I end up having a more fun time because I feel like I just talked to people and it wasn't bullshit. I felt like it wasn't work. It was just us expressing ourselves, which
yeah,
which doesn't actually take energy from me, to be honest. I know sometimes it can be energy depleting for people to have to be social, but at least in
yeah,
my world, it's not right for that. Um,
for sure. And I think a lot of it starts, and I tell people all the time that work for us, it's like, do you want to be here, right? Like, think about how you were, or your mindset when you were applying for the job and you didn't know if you were going to get it. Like
right, right,
uh, well, s- what do you want from Mango? Because this is what Mango wants from you. You know, um, and a lot. If the two answers intersect in a way where it's going to be a reciprocal relationship, um, a lot of times those things with customer service come second nature, right?
yeah,
Like
absolutely,
maintaining eye contact, calling somebody by their first name, and
yeah.
going the extra step in the POS system to go look at their previous order history and say, "How did you like that? How did you like this? Did you like that?" Um, it goes a long way.
What a great idea! Another granular idea you just said. How did you like looking at that history? Hey, how did you like that? I'm
Yeah,
interested in that. Now I'm interested in you, right? Now,
yeah.
all of that can create a good experience. And man, this is great, man. I love what we're getting into here. I saw in my notes that you guys have won awards, and if customer service is one of your guys' big focus, I'm interested in learning what awards you guys have won and for what were those things? Not necessarily the
Uh,
exact name of the awards or whatever it is, but like what have you guys been like received notoriety for? If
the biggest ones were best of weed maps. We've gotten best dispensary. I don't want to say the wrong newspaper, but it was a local newspaper. I think it was the OKC or Tulsa one. We've gotten that a couple of times. Those were the big ones we've gotten.
do you feel that receiving those kinds of things, does it, when we share that with people, does that have impact on people's opinions still in 2025 and 2026? Do they believe that and still come here because of that? Do you find people coming in because of those things? That's a
Tough.
tough one.
I
Maybe,
mean,
maybe a better question for the marketing.
no, I would say, from my perspective, I would say when in Oak, so in our new markets, most definitely, I think those definitely offer some legitimacy, especially when you're trying to earn people's trust as a
Yeah.
retailer and you're like the new kid on the block.
Yes, yes, yes.
In Oklahoma, we're a little bit more established now,
Mm,
so I think those would at this point now in Oklahoma, those that would just be like, I don't want to be cocky and say expected, not expected, but maybe not as impactful from a patient acquisition standpoint as it would be like if it was 2019 or
yeah, yeah.
2020 in Oklahoma.
I see. I see. Yeah, that's huge. The timing, an impact of media awards, perspectives. It's different over time, and once people have become loyal, it is harder to create the change. Probably, I would imagine.
For sure, and I
If
think
not more expensive for sure too.
yeah, and you know that's one thing I've noticed about cannabis too, and I think it's probably true about a lot of different uh, retail markets is that when somebody has their shot, it's their shot, you know. So at this point now, I have our team focusing on not losing the patient. So it's like being unreasonable customer service again for any reason.
Yeah,
Like
that makes
when
sense.
we first started, I remember us like uh one of the first we had the most um wide open return policy there was. You know, like one of the first things when we sat down and talked to any vendor was that you stand behind your product. So if I get a return, you're going to take it back. You know, I don't. I'm not going to have my staff member argue with anybody on the sales floor back and forth about a defective product, whether the customer is right or wrong. You know, I mean, at the end of the day, it's under 1% returns. That shouldn't determine whether we do business or not. You know, it's a
Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. No, that makes sense. Tough policy though, but it makes sense. It's
yeah,
it's tough, but there's nothing wrong with being tough. The industry's tough. This is another example of, hey man, we got our boundaries. We got to do what we got to do it. And for us to be different, this is what we commit to, right?
yeah, yeah,
Unreasonably high level customer service. I like that, man. What's some game today, man.
yeah.
COO of Mango Cannabis here, folks. Michael Khemmoro tapping in. A lot of great game. I got one or two more questions for you, then we'll get you out of here. All right.
Okay, cool.
Describe the current state of the Oklahoma cannabis market. You guys are in a bunch of states now, and when I say a bunch, and because New York, New Mexico, Michigan,
You
Oklahoma.
know, we established ourselves in Oklahoma. Our brand presence and brand awareness in Oklahoma is unmatched as when we compare it to like Michigan or New Mexico or New York. Obviously, where those all those stores came online within the last year, so we haven't really had the longevity there yet to really establish ourselves. But
Okay.
Oklahoma as a whole right now is beyond tough. I don't want to say too much about legislators and you know government agencies, but they're definitely trying to put the toothpaste back into the tube. Something came out, I think, last week. They held a press conference at the state capitol, and one of the letter agencies pretty much said, "Yeah, we're coming after everyone, even legal businesses." If you read between the lines, it's pretty crazy. It's an unbelievable statement.
Wow.
Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't know what it's like. They'll smile in the face and take the tax money from the cannabis industry, but at the same time, shut you down, make it unreasonably tough for you to operate, to renew your license, get your certificate of occupancy, or whatever it may be. It seems like a lot of it's purposeful.
Part of the state of Oklahoma in terms of the industry and the market and everything, and inclusive to what you're describing, is these legislators, the government, also creating the structure of the industry for us, right? Now, obviously, there was
Yeah,
feedback and things, but they built it, right?
yeah.
So, testing is a
Well,
huge problem in some of these states. Do
for
we
sure.
believe the testing in Oklahoma? Does it have the same problems of conversion oil that Michigan has? Does it have the same high THC or pesticide inclusions and issues over here on the West Coast? What is going on in that state regards to testing and maybe some form of consumer awareness here?
I mean, I feel like a lot of people still shop by the THC percentage,
Yeah.
and I
Okay.
mean that's not something I would pay attention to myself. Um, you're going to get different answer depending on what you can submit the same sample to probably two or three different labs, and believe you and me when I tell you that the cultivators are probably doing the same thing. I don't want to poo-poo anyone, but everybody wants high test results. It determines their sales velocity, so I would.
In that case,
Yeah.
it's a necessary evil. If even if they're doing honest work, it's a necessary evil just for them to some have a chance against the 36s and the 34 percenters and
Yeah,
whatever.
it's crazy, man. It's like money corrupts everything. I feel like, it's like when people put between a rock and a hard place, and they're dependent on this crop or this batch or whatever it may be. And I'm not justifying it. I just know the reality of situations in every market, not just Oklahoma.
No, absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
and I think that reality is in every industry. It's not just cannabis either. You see a lot of stuff in pharmaceuticals and recalls uh, from the grocery world that were just like, man, how did this even make it out to the public?
Yeah,
And all you could do is try your best, set in some quality control procedures, which we do, and train and retrain. Uh, you're not going to be perfect, but you got to make things right, and you gotta always strive to be better.
they always say patience over profits, and we would like to see that in terms of testing accuracy and honesty over profits.
Yeah.
To be real, there's a way. There's always a way. You just got to figure it out.
Hmm.
Pivoting away from that topic back to the less of the market and more on mango. Just before I get you out of here, final little half section here. What do you guys have coming up at Mango? It's the end of the summer here now. School just started for kids again and everything all over the place. What do you guys got coming up? How do you plan on ending the year?
Ending the year, we're shooting for our second location in Michigan. We're opening up in New Buffalo, Michigan, right off exit 4. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that market.
I am
It's
familiar with that crazy area.
it's unbelievable. There's but It's super super competitive. So not going in there wide eyed thinking it's going to be a walk in the park. It's going to be a bloodbath for sure. We have our two other Oklahoma locations that should be operational here in the next month or two,
Nice.
hopefully. If licensing works itself out, I mean, the thing is built out and ready to go. That's the other thing when it comes to licensing too. The carrying costs just to get some of these places operational, waiting on licensing to come through is astronomical. It's not
It's
fair. It's
you mean it's
almost
slow? It's
intentional.
astronomically slow.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It's like
Yeah.
we're not opening location one or two. We're 9 and 10. I mean, I'd like to think that we're pretty solid employers. We pay very well. Oof. Um,
I heard about them Oklahoma bugs too. I know you guys got it bad down in Oklahoma. I know you in Michigan in the wilderness though.
Yes, sir.
Come
Yes,
on,
sir.
come on. Well, yeah, it's a frustrating thing to have to be so patient, and not just like on like a emotional frustration, but it costs you money. That's what I mean. That's part of what you're talking about, right? In a big, huge way, more than just the fucking frustration. It's
Yeah,
expensive to wait.
it's expensive to wait. Yeah, it's ridiculous. One other thing before we go, Joey, too, that I want to touch on, and for all my Oklahoma people, I never tell anybody how to vote, but if you care about the industry, SQ 837 is kind of our last hurrah, last chance to get adult use rec passed in the state, and if we don't get it, they're gonna do everything they can to shrink this market and make it harder for you to operate.
Say it again, please.
Yeah. Did you miss it?
No, no, say it again. We need to say it again. That's huge.
Yeah. SQ 837. It's going to be our last chance, guys. SQ 837 is our last chance to get rec on the ballot. I mean, our last real chance. I don't want to say never, but man, there's been so many shops that have been closing down, cultivators closing down, labs closing down, processors closing down. It's nowhere near what it was a couple years ago. And even with that happening, we haven't gotten any busier. The patient pool is shrinking. They're making it more difficult to get cards. Um, they're actively coming against your livelihood, your industry, and this medicine that helps a lot of people. And one thing I've noticed with cannabis is we have to do a better job of. We can be competitors all day, but we have to do a better job of unifying on the important things for our industry. Like there has to be common ground on things that we agree on and that we could present a unified front to when we go
Powerful.
and talk to the people that want our votes,
Yeah. Unity, we are more powerful.
For sure.
Simple as that. Everybody, we appreciate you hanging out and watching. This was an Oklahoma edition of the RMR podcast. Mango Cannabis here today, you guys. 8 locations currently in Oklahoma, 2 more waiting to get opened. They got, I think, what was it? 3 other states. We said New Mexico, Michigan, New York. So
Yes, sir.
a total of 4 there. I was saying 5 all episodes. Shout out the weed getting me high.
That's
Um,
okay. We're going to be in Minnesota soon, hopefully.
perfect. And that was, again, expansion right there, folks. A little bit more to come. Shout out to you for the little exclusive there. But man, absolutely great episode, Michael. I really appreciate you chatting and talking with me and gaming me up so much, and really being able to get a better perspective on what's going on there. I feel like I have a lot more clarity of what's been going on for the last 6, 7, 8, 9 years of cannabis. And it's not just, oh yeah, these Cali guys left and went to there, and then they went up to Michigan, and now they're this and that, and da 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 da. Like,
Mhm.
nah, man, the world is so much different than even just those comments being 1% true back in the day. Like
Yeah.
2018, 2019, 2020. Now Missouri's fully legal and booming in adult use, right? Like Oklahoma
Yeah.
was in the beginning and now it got passed up. And so it's time that we get that rocking. I appreciate you sharing the information about what's happening with the law and the voting and things like that. It's important. Everybody get out there and vote for the thing that can save the industry. You know what I'm saying for you guys. Keep it around. Let's get it to adult use. Um, Changes can be made once it gets to adult use. We can always edit it and fix it
Yeah.
later.
And it's a very simple question, too. It's 6 pages long. It's to my knowledge, and I read this kind of stuff all day. There's nothing in there that's gonna stop anybody from competing. It's good for everyone that's been in the industry in the state. You get a 3 or 4 year uh, period where nobody can enter the market. So whoever's been there and been serving the communities are going to get their chance to reap the benefit for running this marathon, and it hasn't been a fun or easy 2 years.
It's incredible. Michael, I appreciate your time again and sharing all this information. Incredibly helpful and valuable to those that it applies to for sure. Everybody, thank you again for watching. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe. We stream these episodes on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitch, and YouTube. So please follow us on any one of those channels and subscribe. We will be switching soon to uploading some videos natively. So we're excited for that. But for now, respectmyregion.365 on Instagram and YouTube. We also have 420 accounts on both YouTube and Instagram as well. Mike, thank you.